Eagles fly. Let's peep the squad. Big Pat Shell and Dante the Dark Child. Drop the stats on them. Drop the facts on them. Spur King, baby. Let's get it on.
Hey, fam, it's your man Dante the Dark Knight, and welcome to another edition of Eagles Talk, upon further review, where we go over the Eagles' last game. Unfortunately, it was a loss, and it took us into a bye week, and we took a bye week along with the Eagles. They disgusted us. We took the week off with them. We needed to regroup just as much as they needed to regroup. All right, so we're back. We're going to talk about that game against the Bucs, how they owned us. They've been owning us for a while too, and we're hoping, and we'll talk about, what we hope to see in these final 13 weeks of the season, because this is we're all out now. It's no rest for the weary. We have to go 13 weeks consecutively and last through that, and hopefully go through a long playoff run. So we'll talk about that also. But without further ado, how are you guys? My crew is here. Michelle, Pat, how you guys? Pat still looks like he remembers that game very vividly. It's been almost 2 weeks. You have the same look on your face that we had on our face when we last was on the air.
Yeah. This to be a Philly fan right now, it's a tough go.
Yeah. We got other issues besides the Eagles, but
do we really though? Those issues are over.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
True.
Let's them take the heat of let's fire the whole team and the coaches right now, because I'm kind of over it at this point on the Eagles side of things. So, and I love my Phillies. I love all my Philly teams, but it wasn't their year. End of story.
Yeah. But
we peaked
when you go
soon.
through. Yeah, I know we peaked.
We peaked too soon. I mean, look at the last series with the Mets. They had our number.
Well, this is Eagles talk, so we're not going to bring them up no more.
Okay. All right. That's fair enough.
We won't bring the themes down here.
All right. So you are watching Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around. That's by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team. That is the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. So I am doing nothing but coffee. I'm just sipping on some coffee. And Pat, what are you doing?
I'm doing some chilled lemonade.
Oh, some chilled lemonade. Nice.
I'm doing a tangerine La Croix.
Tangerine La Croix. And you guys let me know what you're doing out there. So here we go. To our Philadelphia Eagles, and hopefully a better second half. Well, not second half. Second part of the season than the previous.
We got 2/3 of the season left. Come on, y'all.
All right, 2/3.
We only played 4 games.
All right, here we go. Yeah, for real. So here we go. Down the hatch to our Philadelphia Eagles. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the
All right, and in this first quarter, we're going to pick up where this team left off, which was a disappointing loss against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where we couldn't muster anything. The defense couldn't stop that guy, whatever, Joe Montana.
Tom Brady Mayfield.
Yeah, I would say, Joe Montana Mayfield over there, we made him look like a quarterback. I mean, come on. And to his credit, though, he has been playing pretty nice this year. But
he has been playing nice.
We have a tendency to make average quarterbacks look elite, and I'm tired of it. I really am. We brought in Vic Fangio. We said, all right, we got the architect of the defense that we were running the past few years with Gannon and Desai, and it's not looking any better. He is the architect of the sticks defense, And I still don't like it. I still don't like it. I didn't like it when Gannon did it. I didn't like it when Desai did it. And now that we have the architect of it, I'm not liking it when he does it. I think we have secondary that can cover, that can press, that can play man to man. And to have them playing 10 yards or playing sticks defense seems like a waste of talent in my estimation. You guys let me know.
I totally agree. I've been saying this since to Nichelle, since we had Sheldon Brown, Lito Shepherd, those defensive backs haven't been really pressed. Even when you go to the Asante Samuels, like he played off. That's how he played football. And our defense hasn't really been the same since we had actual physical press and physical corners. You go back and just look at the best defenses in the league. They don't play off. These defenses don't play off. The best cornerbacks in the league, the Patrick Surtains, these guys play in front of the receiver on bumper run coverage. Let the chips fall where they may. You got to give these guys the opportunity to make plays. If Mike Evans is better than Q Mitchell, so be it. Right now, Q is showing up. The other corners ain't showing up. When you're 7 yards off, especially after the first drive, and the quarterback is throwing 3-yard outs, 2-yard hitches, and you're still playing 7 yards off, why do I need to change my game plan as a quarterback, as an offensive coordinator? Why do I need to try to go deep on you? You're giving me everything I need, and you're letting me march down the field. So this Vic Fangio type of defense of playing back, playing the sticks, playing this, and not being aggressive when you should be aggressive every single down is really killing us. It's really tying this defense out because they're on the field for 70-something plays in a game. The offense is not getting the rhythm because they're not putting together drives or throwing short passes, and it's just the little proverbial snowball going down a hill.
And do you have anything, Michelle? Michelle just got this look on her face.
I mean, what more is there to say? Our defense isn't physical. To Pat's point, it hasn't been physical, especially with our linebackers and our cornerback play. So, I mean, we've had this discussion for, I don't know, the past 3 seasons. I mean, at least to Gannon's credit, we still had like a top 5 defense and that was usually our only weak point, was not playing enough press coverage in the backfield. I mean, in the open field with our corners. But to be honest with you, I mean, it's not the Philly defense we're used to, and we haven't had the Philly defense we're used to. Sometimes our front, the line works it out, and they get a lot of pressure, and then sometimes they're not. It's just too inconsistent. It's not enough physicality. We're getting beat off the ball. We're getting beat up by other O lines. We're getting blown out by receivers. We're getting blown out by quarterbacks who should not look that good when they play us. And that's all because our defensive play is just not physical. And maybe it's just time that, we buckle down and get ready for that, unless Vic Fangio has something else up his sleeve, which, I highly doubt that someone that old in the game is going to change the stripes anytime soon. So I don't think it is, I see everybody talking about the 3-4. I just don't think it works for the personality that this fan base is used to. This defense is still not living up to the Jim Johnson, the Buddy Ryan defense of the world. We're spoiled. We're spoiled. We're used to punch you in the mouth defense. Like you said, you having corners like Lito Shepherd and the boys back then, having folks like the Axeman, having Brian Dawkins, having Hugh Douglas. Like, we always brought the pain week after week after week. Somebody was getting hurt when they played us when they played our defense. It's been years since we've had that type of defense. What I mean? It's been years.
It has, and I'm sitting here trying to figure out, and I'm not a defensive coordinator, but I'm trying to figure out how the heck can we fix this. One thing, hindsight is 2020. We didn't mind this 3-4, right, until we did, which is now. Now I mind it, right? But they introduced this when Nick came in with Gannon. And, they told us that it would be a hybrid, kind of got us, not thinking 3-4 so much. And we didn't make a big stink about it because Gannon in his second year had the third most sacks in league history. We liked that part. That part was sexy. The sacks were sexy, but it didn't pass the eye test to me. Right? We all looked at it. We saw 75 sacks or whatever amount of sacks they had that year. And third ranked defense or something like that. But to us, true Eagles fans, it didn't pass the eye test. There was not enough physicality, and we didn't like the Sticks defense, even though we had a top 3 defense. Now, in this year, and after just these 4 games, you look at it, and we still don't like the Sticks defense, and there's no physicality. So now I'm at the point I don't like 3-4 no more. I don't like 3-4 no more. I don't like it.
We had one good week of defensive play,
and it wasn't in a 3-4. Right. We rotated it to a 5-1. Like we moved our defense. What we did, we took our rush ends. So you stood them outside linebacker, so it looked like a 4-2. Then you dropped Zach Bond down into the box, and you had Nakobe Dean smack dab you over the A or B gap. Like it was simple. You made the offensive line do their job, and they couldn't do their job against us. Now with this defense that we have, right? You sit back and you rush these guys that don't get any pressure. The Josh Sweats, the Bryce. We talked about Bryce Huff. Josh Sweat doesn't get any pass rush. Brandon Graham, which is the same age as you, Dark Knight, he's leading the team in sacks besides Zach Bond. Like, pressures. The thing about it is, what helps out if you move your corners in front of the receiver. Divert the receiver to make the quarterback make that particular sharp target throw. When you do that, it's a different game.
I'm not going to let you get that off, Pat. You're older than Brandon Graham.
Hey, stop that! I am.
I'm way older than Brandon.
Okay.
But I was just going to suggest that.
We the same age.
No. I was just going to suggest that. I was going to run that by you, Pat, but you just put it up. I was thinking, like, would allowing the corners to step up and press help out the pass rush? Wouldn't that help out the pass rush? Because we always talk about, the pass rush and the secondary working in tandem, right? Mm-hmm. And if you got a great defensive line, your secondary gets off the hook a little bit because the line is getting the pressure, right? Mm-hmm. But in this sense, we kind of need the secondary to help out the pass rush because we don't have a dynamic defensive pass rushing line. So I thought if you step the corners up and press them, right, and maybe that would allow the D-line to get there. Maybe it would allow D-line to get there. What do you I don't know.
Well, it's just like this, all right? If I take one step and I could throw it to receiver and gain 3 to 4 yards, right, it makes my life as a quarterback easier. If I get a snap of the ball and I look at my receiver, I have to second guess it for a second or two, right, because he's in press coverage. That gives the defensive line an extra second or two to rush the quarterback. When you don't have to overthink as a quarterback, it makes your job easy. When you have the defensive backs playing 7 yards, it makes the job easy for offensive coordinator in that quarterback. When you have these corners come up, like Tampa Bay did to us, Tampa Bay played even though they play a Tampa 2 type defense and they blitz a lot, you didn't see their safeties. You saw their corners. You saw their linebackers. You didn't see their safeties. The safeties' task goes from sideline to sideline. Our corners was out of the screen a few times. Like, you didn't see anybody there. Like, that is absurd to me that you get the responsibility for Slay. I'm gonna call you Slay. All right, I'm not calling you the other name. I'm gonna call you Slay.
Call him
right?
Darius.
No, yeah, he's playing like Darius. He's acting like Darius.
I'm gonna call Darius. Okay, I'm gonna call him Darius. Darius, Vontae Maddox, which thank goodness we could talk about. He's not gonna be there. Q is probably the fastest. Well, it's the second fastest corner you have next to Isaiah Rodgers, right? Let these guys earn their money. They work for this. This is what they are supposed to do. They're supposed to be face to face with a receiver, diverting this receiver from getting to his position in that particular offense, making it difficult for the quarterback to even make a snap throw. Those freaking Baker Mayfield for 347 yards. 347. That's absurd.
A lot of bum quarterbacks always have their best game against our defense. Can we talk? And that's been happening for the past, like I said, 3 seasons.
And it's terrible. The show is terrible. Listen, I can understand if we're getting burnt every single play. I can understand it. I can understand if we're playing bump and run coverage and our corners cannot run with these receivers, but we have corners that can run with any receiver in this league. Any receiver in this league. And yes, I throw out there Xavier Worthy. I throw out there DK Metcalf. Listen, we have corners that can run with these receivers, okay? Make them earn their keep. If you're a corner, you take pride in what you do. You take pride in that you can blanket a strap down a top-notch wide receiver. You can't blanket or strap down a top-notch wide receiver. You're playing 7 yards on him. You already in a mismatch.
Yeah.
When Chris Godwin is running a zigzag route over the middle of the field and I'm 7 yards off him, I'm already at a disadvantage. I'm at a disadvantage because I'm not diverting him from getting to where he wants to get. He just gets there. It's like Steph Curry, right? Steph Curry comes around the screen. I don't put no pressure on it, nothing like that. I just let him catch the ball and shoot wherever you want to shoot. That's exactly what our Eagles defense are doing with our defensive backs. Let Steph Curry shoot from anywhere he wants to shoot without put no defense or a hand in front of his face.
Period.
All right. Look, you're gonna
we gotta let the people in the room.
Let me talk about them, and then I'm jumping on you, Pat. But all right, so you guys are our fourth co-host. We thank you guys for joining us always being supportive. And the first person in the room, the chat room tonight, is JT watching from YouTube. He done switched it up.
That's
and he's watching from YouTube. That's what's up. He says, "Yo, let's go, Bird." What's up, JT? And Stan Mason is watching from Facebook. He said, "Yep." JT is also on Facebook. He comes up as the third viewer.
That's right. Use them views, JT. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and share the show, please. Share it right now. Everybody push share. Send that out to your friends.
Richard Layton is in the house. Richard Boo Layton, what's up, Eagle fan? What's up? And Christopher Burton is in the house. He says, "What's good, family? Checking in from work." Oh, that's what's up. And JT says he's doing the H2O. Christopher's doing the cheer wine soda. What is that? I don't know. I never heard of that. Yeah, the defense looks so stiff. That says Richard. Come down a little bit more. Somebody said something funny. Oh no, let me. Well, I'm not going to get on that. I'll put that up a little later because that's about Neff. That's about Neff. I don't. When we start, I know that. No, that's what I'm saying.
I'm ready for him. Y'all want to come out my nephew? I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm ready to run his stats.
Right. Nobody's avert from getting this work though.
Yeah,
he can get this work too. They can all get this work, but we gonna keep it respectable. Is what we.
We definitely will.
Realistic.
We gonna do that.
We ain't gonna be hyperbolic. Y'all don't know what that means. Look it up. Google it.
Look, Pat, you're going to stop dumbing down the game of football for me. I appreciated it in the beginning. I did, but I'm more educated now. I don't need you to dumb it down. And this is what I mean. You guys don't know, but Pat does it. And I love him because he was looking out for me. So, I don't know all the X and O's. So Pat dumbs it down and be like, Dark Knight. It's like Steph Curry coming off of it. He breaks it down to my sport where I understand. So now when I say, I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it. It'd be like Dark Knight. It's like boxing out and getting a real, like, oh, okay, I get it. All right, you don't have to dumb it down anymore, Pat. I think I got enough.
I got you now.
Knowledge now that you don't have to do that. But I love you for it. All right, let's end this first quarter, man. We're Eagles talk, but
And that's the end of the quarter.
all right, this is Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around. That's by Eagles fans and for Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team, that is the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. Tonight, I am just doing the coffee. All right, so, and Pat, that means I'm going to be up late. All right, but all right. Oh, it's all right. It's okay.
It's a game on.
Yeah, it is. Pat, what are you doing?
I'm just doing a lemonade. You know, I'm on my 20-day thing. Well, 18 days.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pat's not drinking right now. And Michelle, what are you doing? The orange liqueur? Or was it?
The tangerine liqueur.
Tangerine liqueur. Let me know what you guys are doing out there. And let's take this down for our Philadelphia.
That's good.
Philadelphia Eagles. Here we go. Down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the quarter.
I'm sorry. Wrong quarter.
You're now listening to the second quarter.
That's some strong coffee.
Yeah. Wrong quarter. All right. So, we've got to see in this second half, or this second third of the season, a much improved. I don't know if we're going to see a much improved defense, right? But I know that we have a lot of room to see a much improved offense, because on that side of the ball, we don't have any question about the talent. We don't. We're not questioning our talent. The talent on the offensive line. Mm-hmm. We're not questioning the talent of our receivers. We're not questioning the talent of our tight end. We're not questioning the talent of our running back. No, we're not. Some are questioning the talent of our quarterback, but we still think that at least I do, still think that Jalen, along with these other weapons, is more than capable enough for this offense to be more dynamic and explosive than what we've seen. So I am looking for more consistency and vast improvement over what I've seen in the first 4 games from this offensive unit, because nothing has changed even after 4 games. This offensive unit is charged with carrying a huge load if this team is going to have any type of success. They've got to do what they are capable of doing every week. Every week they got to do it.
Yeah.
But I hate to break it to you. Lane Johnson is the most valuable offensive player we have, more than Jalen, more than AJ, more than Devontae, more than Saquon. We don't win without him. They're all the stats over the years have shown we just don't win without Lane, y'all. He is a core part of our protection. And without that protection, you don't get plays developing the way they should. So we can't just discount the fact that we didn't have one of our top offensive weapons in our linemen. That's where the game is won. And yes, Jalen needs to make better decisions and be able to work under adversity. I agree with all those criticisms, but what I'm not going to agree with is that he needs to be benched or he ain't the caliber QB. That's a bunch of BS. 4 games, Jalen completion percent, Pat Mahomes 68, Jalen 68, pass yards, Jalen 930, Pat Mahomes 904. This is the first 4 games. We're not counting the last game because we're only doing 4x4. Total TDs 6, total TDs 6, interceptions 4 for Jalen, 6 for Pat Mahomes. QB rating, 85.7 for Jalen, 89.7 for Pat Mahomes. But what do we say about Jalen? He's a bum. He's a turnover machine. Oh, my God. Pat Mahomes, he's a magician. How does he do it? We're not going to play both sides of the coin. You can't be saying, oh, why we can't have a quarterback, why he can't play like Pat Mahomes, when he is playing like Pat Mahomes by the stats, by the numbers. Come on, y'all. Like all the talk I saw about our quarterback, I had to tune out the radio, go offline because, it's a mess. You ain't got nothing to be worried about. You know who you should be worried about? You should be worried about to make sure our line is going to play the way they need. You should be worried about our defense. I have full faith that our offense, with all of our weapons, now that they're back, we still discount the fact that we didn't have AJ, Devontae, Lane, who are such a huge part of this offense. Y'all thought things was just going to be sweet. No, it was going to be a tall task for that offense to work under that with a hand tied behind their back. It really was. So, and nobody gives our O-line enough credit. Nobody criticizes them when they're not doing their job. Lane Johnson is crucial to our success. And anytime he's been out, we've lost games for the most part. We have a losing record without him. Period. So this is not just all on Jalen. Yes, Jalen can get that work. He can get criticized. But some of the stuff that people were saying about him was disgusting. Y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself. You all sweating this young man when he putting up stats and numbers like the top QBs in the league, and it's still not good enough for y'all. Stop. Come on. If this was your job and you was performing at a high level, and then you had this naysayer in the corner that wanted your job, that was talking all trash or didn't like you because they didn't like the way you look or didn't like the way you talk, you'd be pissed. Put some good energy in the air for our Eagles team. Like, come on. They've heard fire us all week. Fire this one, bench this one, fire this one. Like the sports rate is so toxic out there. Like, I wouldn't. God bless them players, because I know I'll be damned if I let them people talk about me that way.
Well, you got to tune it out as a player. You
do, but
you don't feed into it.
Did not put constant toxic stuff out over the airwaves. Like, come on, y'all.
All right, let me see. Let me go to some comments. Stan says, you're right. So let's talk about our sorry-ass coach. We had our weapons on that basement slide last year. It's Xbox Knicks. It's Xbox Knicks. Nick. Let's talk about that. He calls him Xbox Nick or Madden. He plays Madden. I agree with that. Whatever. I think I like that nickname right there, Xbox Nick. All right. He plays Madden out here. He's playing real Madden in real game situations, man. And I'll never forget. I forget what game it was, but going for 4th and 3, it was the Saquon drop game, and my son was like, he's playing like I would play on Madden. That's what I would do if I was running against somebody I didn't respect. I would do that. If I was playing against somebody that I knew was good, I would have took the money. I would have ran the ball. He said, but that's some cute stuff I would have done if I was playing against somebody I didn't respect. So yeah, he's Xbox Nick out here, and hopefully he is now. To his credit, I'll give him this. Right, he had the meltdown last year, but I'll give him this. The first year, and this was a lot. This says a lot about him, right? His first year, he was the play caller. He sucked, and he realized he sucked, and he took himself away from play calling. I'll never forget that. Because now, Nick, we need to see that type of accountability and responsibility now. You stood up and you were accountable about making those 4th down calls in the game against Atlanta. And now we need you to be accountable enough to say, let me take a step back and let the people that are running the offense do their jobs. I know there comes a time as a CEO coach that you have to make those final coaching decisions, but to me, it feels like, and I'm not in the building, it feels like Nick is trying to, seem relevant, if that makes any sense.
We act like he wasn't a wet behind the ear Similac child coach when we got him. He wasn't a head coach.
This is what, year 4 for him? This is year 4 for him? All right, now it's time for him to stop being.
How long did we have Andy Reid?
I understand it. I understand how long we had Andy Reid, but by Andy Reid's third year, he had full command of the team. It was no running around doing whatever you want. It was no the players revolting against the offensive coach and against the head coach because you would sit him down, right? And you know he would sit him down. It's time for Nick to start take this players association that they have, this players committee, and just put it to the side because right now the players aren't playing for the head coach. That's more evident than anything else. They're playing for whatever each other is playing for, and it's not working. And it hasn't been working, all right? It hasn't been working since last season. It's not working right now. So the head coach needs to start chopping some heads, and it might have been Devin White might have been a head chop, right? Next thing you know, it might be Bryce Huff next. It might be Avonte Maddox next. But these players, they have to step up. We keep blaming the coach, call him Xbox Knicks. Listen, the play call against the Falcons would have been something that I would have did. Is a gutsy call, but he catches that ball. Right now, we're 3-1. Let's be honest. Right now, we're 3-1. So in reality, the players got to put their big britches on and stop pouting. All right. Yes, Lane Johnson, when he's not there, we don't win. We know this. What's going to happen when Lane Johnson retire? Are we going to go 0-17? We need to start finding this replacement, and these men need to stop acting like boys and step up. All right. I understand we have these different things about these different coaches and different players, and I love Jalen. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to try to disrespect Jalen whatsoever, and I think he needs to be our starting quarterback. I'm not in the field of putting Tanner McKee in there or small hands, Kenny, whatever. I'm not in the field of that, right? There's going to be bumps and bruises, but one thing that is more evident than anything, and he needs to get better at, is reading the blitz. That's all we want him to do. Read the blitz. I said this one time before. I'm going to say it again. If a cornerback at nickelback, specifically a nickel, all right, Dark Knight, this is for you. If a nickel looks very uninterested in the play, he's blitzing. If he's looking around and just finagling and doesn't look interested in the play, he's blitzing. If a linebacker steps up in the A gap or the B gap, it looks like he's blitzing, he's dropping back. That's common sense. That's one-on-one. That's why you hear the plays Tom Brady talk about this corner, like the corner is about to look like he's blitzing. He tell him, "Oh, you're not coming. Stop acting. You're not coming." This is what we want from our quarterback. And this is the possibility that we can get from Jalen if he stop and just read. Just look. Seriously, just get to the line of formation. Look at every single play. Once the middle linebacker is called out, once you see the little linebacker, get that nickel back. That linebacker. All right. Understand how they blitz, when they blitz, and beat that blitz. That's all we want from our quarterback. That's it.
No. Agreed. Right. What is this Jalen's fourth year?
It's his fourth starting year, yes.
Yes. Did you watch the old Pat Mahomes interview when he said he didn't really get good at reading defenses until his fourth year?
Well, listen, I just said he went against that Tampa Bay for 3 years.
Yeah, he should have been better.
And that blitz where that cornerback came off and got 2 sacks against him, right? It's the same blitz they called 3 years ago when he first went to the playoffs. The same exact blitz. So there are some things where you should pick up keys from. If I'm looking at you and you look very uninterested in this play, I know for damn sure you ain't playing my receiver, because my receiver ready to take off on your ass.
Tell him, Coach Pat.
He's ready to take off on your ass. I know he's not interested in the play. I know you're coming. I'm going to look right at you and say, all right, he's the hot man. That's a quick read. I understand that Pat Mahomes said he can read defenses into like his 4th or 5th year, whatever. I get that. This is Jalen's 4th year. They ran the same defense 3 years ago. All you had to do is go look at the film and see that they ran the same blitz package against you. I'm sorry. I went off a tangent.
You're all good. Everybody's it up. Everybody's excited. and everybody has valid points on how we should be running this offense, whether it's with the not using Saquon properly, using motion first week, getting all excited, and then next 3 weeks we don't see that mess again. Like we all have valid points on how, because we know we have Lamborghinis and we're sitting there driving them like they're Toyotas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and to the guys were a little banged up last game, so AJ's been out a couple weeks, and Devontae didn't play last week,
yeah,
so
we didn't have
all the Lamborghinis. But nope. I got to go back to this because, and John Petit says you can almost pick out the plays that Nick calls. We went from one of the top motion teams in week 1 to the bottom by league by week 4, and that. I made a point to, that I can almost tell when Nick is inserting his control or his will into the play calling situation. You can, it's so obvious to me now. I can recognize it. If Jalen can't read the defense, I can read Nick inserting his will into the offense. This never fails, right? And I'm trying to ride with Nick because he's here now, but I can't help but think about the dysfunction in the locker room, and that has to fall, some responsibility has to fall on the coach for this. Devin White is out of here. There was always talk about Nick and Jalen and not totally being on the same page, so much so that they just released something today saying that Jalen said that him and Nick had spent some time together over the bye weekend and they're cool and all that. So and just saying that to me is saying that we had to get on the same page. We've had to have that sit down and try to, I hate to use this word, but for lack of a better word, reconcile whatever differences we might have had or have been going on or whatever. So to me, it's still coming back to Nick, right? And Nick is going to be tested for the remainder of the season to see how he can pull this team through adversity. Now, albeit it might be hyperbolic, like you said, because we're 2-2 after 4 games. It's not like we are 1-5 or we're 1-6. We're only 2-2, and we have 13 games to go. And when I look at the records of those games that we play that are not division rivals, their combined record percentage is like 31%. They have 31%. We're going to be playing a lot of 1-4 teams. At least they're 1-4 now. A lot of 1-4, 1-3 teams by the time we see these people. So we don't have a tough schedule ahead of us. We've just got to put it together and play like the team that we all hope to see when this season started. With the names that we have on offense, we hope to see a better showing than what we see now. And hopefully Nick can get it together, because I can't help but go back. When your team does not believe in the coach, that's a recipe for disaster.
Just let your offensive coordinator be the offensive coordinator. Just let him do his job. Just like you put up a great comment. Why y'all talking like he had a full complement of players? He did not have a full complement. He lost his center. He lost his right tackle. He lost both all pro wide receivers. I get that. I understand it. Then why are we developing deep plays? Why are we developing deep overs? Everything should be quick and easy, out of the hands of the quarterback. That's common sense when it comes to letting your offensive coordinator do his damn job. Screen passes, short intermediate throws. That should be the focal point of the offense when you don't have your stars. Because when you do have your stars, what plays do you run? You run slant plays to A.J. Brown. You run quick outs to Smitty. You run overs to Dallas Goedert. The offense changed all of a sudden. Quick routes is what got us there. Continue the quick routes. They're playing the cover 2. The middle of the cover 2 is the most easiest part, especially your front of linebackers, to get that 3 to 4 yards. Then run the ball. Yeah, run the freaking ball.
We have a problem with sticking to what works for us.
Yes, we do.
That's the problem. The things that work, I don't know if they're allergic to things that are successful, but when the running game's working, we go away from it, or we don't even incorporate it at all. We know we've always had a run game. There's for the past, I don't know how many seasons, we've always had either a decent and high level to astounding running back game, whether it was a single back or running back by committee. We always had a strong run game.
Correct.
So we don't stay with the things that work for us. Like you said, simplified, running it straight up the gut with Saquon. You know what I mean? Why not run it straight up the gut with him on short yardage downs? Why the hell are we passing on 3rd and 2? Why are we passing on 2nd and 3?
Xbox
Why?
Nick.
That is the Xbox Nick.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
There's no reason. When we simplify it, run it up the gut, open up the pass play, short passes like you mentioned, Pat, it works for us. But we never stay with the things that work. We're always trying to. It's a case where sometimes Nick is just trying to do too much. We're trying to do too much, and instead of simplifying it with the things that work, because we have the weapons, we have the speed, and we do have the talent. Doing too much.
Xbox.
Doing too much. Oh, can you put our like, subscribe, and share up there?
Xbox. See, we got in this corner Dark Knight.
Yeah, that's in this quarter. That's his nickname.
That's the end of the quarter.
All right, you're listening to Eagles Talk, the number one Eagles coverage show on Facebook that's by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team, and it's still our favorite football team, no matter what.
Always. Do or die.
Yeah.
Green for life.
And
Say what you want.
In such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. I am just sipping on the coffee. Pat he got
lemonade.
He's got a cool lemonade, and Michelle is doing
I got a 17-day thing.
LaCroix. So you guys let me know what you're doing out there. A couple people have already let me know, but raise your glass to our Philadelphia Eagles and hope for a better 2/3 of the season. Here we go. Down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the third quarter.
Yeah, Dag. Make sure this is nothing in this, right? No, that's nothing in there. All right. So we are talking about this team getting back on track. There's still plenty of time to do so. Only played 4 games. We're going into our 5th game this week against the Cleveland Browns. Let's talk a little bit about what we should expect for this team coming out of the bye. Number one, I do know that we are a lot more healthier than we were going into the bye. We have both of our wide receivers returning. And like Michelle said, the most important part of the offense will be returning to the bye, and that is Lane Johnson. So we'll have our full complement of offensive weapons there. And I agree that we need to see, and somebody said in the chat room too, that we need to see a heavy dosage of Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley should be the focus of this offense. I miss the days where the run game was so important, and it's starting to come back. You're starting to see it now because you see the what's my man Henry and Derrick Henry and such. And they are, the rushing yards are up this year. I long for the days where, you run the ball even when they know the run is coming. You know what I mean? Like, what happened to that type of bully ball? Like, if you can run the ball, you run the ball until they can stop you. You just run it down their throat until they stop you.
So that's PlayStation Nick. All right, PlayStation Nick will understand what Michelle said just a minute ago. If the play works and they cannot stop it, why not continue to run the same play over and over? Just like on Madden or Super Technical. I give you Super Technical, right? When you have Bo Jackson, you just pitch it to the right or the left. You can stop it, no matter who you put on. So,
Nick, why can't we see that? All right, so what can we expect from the Eagles on Sunday?
They got us by 9, right?
Oh yeah,
They got us 9-point favorites. So at least even the people betting know we're better than our fan base says. So they got us at +9. So I think they're going to play with a little chip on their shoulder. You think they haven't heard all of this? That's my whole part about the whole toxic nature. Like at some point, yes, you can criticize your team and scream and yell, but there needs to be some type of balance. You know what I mean? Like just the energy in the city is just like it's like you hate your own team. Then why root for them? Why call in? If that's all you want to talk about is the negative and you don't want to talk about, we still have a really good team. I'm not giving up on them after 4 weeks and we in a bye and our stars were hurt. Like that's the most idiotic thing ever. I think they're going to play with a chip on our shoulder. I hope that they have gotten the message in terms of making this offense hum the way it needs to. Defense really needs to step up and play aggressive. But the one thing I wanted to mention, Dante, you talked about Jalen having a meeting, and I felt like that was sports radio feeding into that BS.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These are professionals. They don't have to say, oh, we kumbaya. 1 minute you mad with Nick, his first year of doing the flowers and the growing and all that stuff. And the next year you're like, oh, well, him and the quarterback, they're beefing. Stop. Really? Everybody gets frustrated when they're losing. I'm allowed to be frustrated with my coworker and still have love for my coworker. When we didn't put together a good project, that doesn't mean we have love loss because I'm not sitting on every podium like, oh, he's the man, he's the man, he's the man. Like, so unrealistic. And I'm not trying to put you fellas down, but it's really coming from you fellas out there, like y'all.
No, you don't have to put us down. You're
hella emotional about this.
Fellas, some of these fellas are scared. If they're scared, go get a poodle.
Right.
Because you can't handle a regular dog.
And the whining and scream. You're not going to make it through an 18-game season, y'all, if you keep blacking out every game that doesn't go your way. You black out when we win.
Yeah, true that.
Well, think about it.
It's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Uh-huh.
So
we still have PTSD from last year in the show. We were 10-1.
Let it go.
And then it blew up.
Look, and look what the Phillies just did. I've already let it go. Guess what? They don't sign my paycheck. They don't sign your paycheck either.
I wish they did. But, the crazy thing is that we do play the Cleveland Browns, and a lot of people have been saying Deshaun Watson going to turn back the hands of time to the Houston Texans Deshaun Watson. Whoa, Nelly.
If we play sticks defense, he is.
Deshaun Watson has looked terrible with wide open wide receivers. He might have an okay game, but without a run game, before I say I don't think this is going to listen. Go after this guy. Go after the Cleveland Browns. They have Amari Cooper who's injured, who's hobbled. Half of the team is hobbled for this game. Like we need to take advantage of this team and get back on track. All right.
Take out all our aggression on them.
The only person that's on an injury report this week is Nakobe Dean with an ankle injury, and they said he should be good to go. Right now, the Cleveland Browns has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 players that did not participate or are limited in practice. And that includes Nick Chubb, Jack Conklin, Myles Garrett, Jordan Hicks. Y'all know Jordan Hicks. Naeem Hines. They're tight end David Njoku. They're all-pro corner Denzel Ward. They're all-pro safety Grant Delpit. Like, these are guys that contribute to their offense and their defense that possibly will be out for this game. Take advantage of what you can take advantage of. As we get healthy, this offense needs to follow the direction of Saquon Barkley and feed your stars early and often.
Pat, are you saying that the trade deadline is on election day?
November 5th, Tuesday at 4 p.m.
How are we even going to make it through that day?
I have no
no.
clue.
What?
I have no clue. I just looked it up and it's like,
Who had
okay.
the trade deadline on election day? That's
Uh,
crazy.
Yeah.
well,
The news world is
week
going
8.
to explode.
All right, let's talk about the fact that we are getting healthy. We're getting so healthy that our rookie is rumored to maybe start in the slot. How about that? Cooper DeJean may be
Yes.
starting in the slot. So I'm already raving, and I think the rest of the league is also about Q. Q has done a hell of a job in his first 4 games in the league. I mean,
Yes.
who does not love his swag? He is a Philly player.
Mhm.
Yes,
His
he
swag, he's talking trash to people. You had to see the clip when he's talking to Evans. Like,
Yeah.
yo, dude, that was trash, dude. I'm saying, you only got 1 catch. What are you talking about? He's talking smack to a 13-year veteran who's probably going in the Hall of Fame, and I love it. But he's backing it up, and that's the biggest thing. He's backing up what he's saying, and I love to see him compete. He's doing a heck of a job, and now we're gonna add his running mate. Cooper DeJean is coming in now. Oh, it's time for these young guys. There's no time for us to bring them along slow.
Mhm.
The secondary has been suspect, to say the least, and I don't think it's because of their talent as much as it is the scheme that he's using them in. So now that you got these 2 young stallions, play some press, let them shut their man down. They take pride in shutting down whoever they're assigned to cover. So allow them to do that, Vic. Please, could you allow them to do that? What do you guys think out there?
I totally believe that. The guy. Listen, they get beat. They get beat. I could deal with that. I could deal with them being competitive and they getting beat for a game. I could deal with them being competitive in that sense of the game. But when you have these corners not being competitive and playing 7 yards off, that's not being competitive. It's not giving them the opportunity to earn the keep.
I would like to see Jalen audible more, Stan.
Mhm.
I totally would. But as you said, we got Xbox, PlayStation, as Rachel's saying, backyard, Nick. We don't know what we're getting,
Nope.
And here's a good question. You want to answer this, Pat?
What's that? IR.
Well,
He's going to stay on IR too. He ain't coming on IR. Listen,
some people think he might not even be back in the uniform again.
I don't think so. I mean, he's on. He's still on part of the team, but so as long as he has a green jersey, I'll root for him. But as long as he's on IR and helping the team in that aspect, I'm cool with it.
Period.
Yeah, we're getting so healthy. We got rid of Devin White. Yeah, Devin White. I think he was a problem. And there may be, it's no coincidence they benched him in Tampa, and we were just hoping that we were going to get the first 2 years of his career, Devin White, but we didn't. We didn't get that. We got the player that was benched at the end of last season, and he has not shown that dynamic play in quite some time. So best of luck to him. I think he campaigned to get himself out of here. So he's out of here now, and he's not our problem. So we're going to ride with who we have. We got Zach Vaughn and the rest. So Darius Coleslaw needs to hit the bench. Oh, that's funny. All right, so I don't think Slay is having a bad year. I think Slay is having a bad year public relation wise. I think he's having a bad year. He needs to stay off of social media and podcasts, or he needs to hire Michelle, as a publicist.
Tell him what to do.
Tell him what to do and what to say and what not to say.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh my goodness. Some of these guys, man.
But he's a talker. We always have a couple of them on the team. He's always been a talker. Between him and CJ, they talk. They talk. It's their personality. It's kind of the, like you say, somebody mentioned is how we Philly fans are. Well, it's how some of the players are. They like to talk. They don't feel as though that they need to shut up about how they feel about it. So, but they also have to have the consequences with what they say.
Yeah.
He should just be wiser and choose his words more wisely
So
when he does the podcast. I'm not saying not to do the podcast because it's great for them because they still have to be able to do things after they're done playing football. I'm not saying do these interviews and podcasts with each other and not to do them. It's just be mindful of the messaging that you're putting out there while you're in season. When you're out of season, have at it.
Well, you remember back in the day, the players used to have a show that came on, during the week that was telecast nationally, right, on Fox or something like that. They need to put in these contracts, not have these players to have these forums to podcast until they're either off season or retired, because now you're making these statements during the season that can cause rifts in the locker room. You laughed at GJ. You laughed at your safety not backing up his word. You should be supporting. And you're talking to a Dallas Cowboys. Like,
I was just going to mention,
he's a wannabe Eagle. Y'all going to act like Micah Parsons don't want to be an Eagle.
I mean, he's a PA guy, but at the same time,
you want to be
the season.
So bad.
Off season, you can do what you want. Off season, have your podcast. During the season, you should be laser focused. Say, you know what, I need to do better, get better, and stop talking, man. If you're going to talk, you got to back it up. Right now, you're not backing it up.
Yeah.
You're not backing it up.
That's the
you got to be.
You're allowed to talk when you could back it up, though. That's the fact.
Yeah, you can,
but it up, he could talk.
Even in backing it up, you can't alienate your teammate, and that's what he did. He was alienating his teammate. Now that, and I don't look. You just got to be smarter than that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You just got to know that me laughing at my teammate and not with him. It's one thing if I'm in the locker room and we busting it up and I'm like, yo, you got burnt. You know what I'm saying? But it's a whole different thing if I'm laughing and telling and talking about you getting burnt to our enemy.
Yeah, that should have stayed in the group. Stayed in a group chat. That shouldn't have came out on air on the podcast. That should have been a group chat discussion.
Come on, man. We got to be smarter than that.
That should just stay in the locker room, stay within the Eagles facility. And you got to have a unified front. Right there, that was a unified front. It was basically you being selfish.
These young cats ain't like that, Pat.
But he's 30. He's 31, 32. He's not young. Well,
no, he's young.
Pat, you 40. Okay.
Yeah, you 40.
He's a young blood to you now. You better recognize. Recognize. There's still. He's my oldest son's age. I could be Slay's mama, and so could Dante.
Yeah, my oldest son age. He's my oldest son.
So they're still young boys. They're still young boys that still have a lot of maturing to do. And their generation, that group of millennials and Gen Z, they different. They friends with each other across teams and they're just different than the generations that came before them when it comes to communication.
We wouldn't take each other.
We would have never.
It would have been a fight. Yeah, we wasn't even talking to each other.
Can you imagine? I don't even have to go back. I was about to go back to Reggie and them, but I don't even have to go that far. Nope. Can you imagine Jay Trotter and them talking on a Dallas Cowboys podcast?
They would never.
Absolutely not.
About their own teammate?
Absolutely
Are you kidding me?
Absolutely.
Come on, man.
He did apologize, but he still should have been on there during the season. I'm going to always be advocate for this, that these players need to be laser focused and not have podcasts during the season. Because what are you doing? Well, how much, if you're not undefeated, if you're not leading the league in interceptions, touchdowns, rushing yards, receptions, receiving yards, why are you doing a podcast?
I was going to say they should probably suggest to put it in the contract language, but I don't think that the players would go for that anyway, because it's another form of income, and you can't stifle anybody's potential to make money. All right, John Batiste says Philly fans and media ate his ass up, though.
He sure did.
Got on his ass so bad he had to apologize, and he did. And he apologized for that.
He apologized. He said, "My bad."
Oh my goodness! I'm realizing that right now. That's
you look that you an unk. Yes.
Yeah. You
have officially reached unk level. Talk about he's my age. Nah, bro.
I don't feel like it. Listen, give me six months. I can get on the field. No.
All right.
I'm done.
All right. Yeah. All right. We're gonna end this quarter.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, you're listening to Eagles Talk, the number one Eagles coverage show on Facebook. That's by us fans, for us fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team. That is the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we play our favorite adult beverage. In the form of shots, I'm doing coffee. I'm going to be up till tomorrow.
I'm just doing lemonade.
Yeah, this is not a smart
same. I got
decision
lemonade and
to be drinking coffee at 8 o'clock tonight. Pat is doing what he's doing. The show's doing what she's doing. And you guys are doing what you're doing. So let's do it together. Down the hatch to our Philadelphia Eagles. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the fourth quarter.
All right. So, Vegas says we should blow them out. We think we should blow them out, or at least win. And, but are we? I mean,
I think it's a good tune-up for us.
Yeah.
It should be one of those get-back games.
Yeah.
That we get into sync for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
That, we get our stars back healthy. We feature some of these stars. We feature Dallas Goedert. He's in the top 20 receiving right now. He's a tight end. Saquon is number 3 in rushing. He's one of the best, and he's only played total of 4 weeks. Jalen, this is his get back game when he started to read the defense and understand that he can't put the ball in harm's way. This is the perfect opportunity for Vic Fangio to really say, let me press these guys and see what we have, see what we really have. This actually might be a game where you might see Jeremiah Trotter Jr. in the game. I need our defensive front to come alive. Myles Garrett going to go against some big boys. He's going to go against Lane. He's going to go against Malala. So this gives you an opportunity to really gas these guys up. I mean, Vegas for some reason always gets it right. So Vegas knows something that we're trying to guess.
Yeah, I hope so. That Myles Garrett he's a monster, yo. He's different. Yeah. He different, but
he different.
I think he is. I'm telling you. I mean, if you look at him, he looked like I'm talking about physique wise. He looks like the Black 4 or something. That big dude is like, yo, and he can dunk and all, man. Yeah. So, but I got confidence in the offense line. I got confidence in Lane and Mailata that they can handle that. But he's going to be something to behold on Sunday. And I'm looking for the defense to return to that form of the Saints game. Can we see that defense again? What happened to that defense? So we need to see that defensive line. We need to see that defensive effort on a more consistent basis. I don't know if it's the players or the scheme, but whatever it is, they need to work it out and get on the same page on Sunday, because we need to see that defense at least play. They don't have to play lights out, but they got to give more effort than what they gave last game against the Bucs.
Correct. I want to see, what was it, week 3 that we balled out as a defense? Was that week 3?
Against the Saints. Yeah, it was week.
Yeah. I need that. Yeah. I want that defense. We know they exist because we watched them. Mm-hmm. We watched them do all the things we wanted them to do. So that's what I want, week 3's defense back. That's what I want.
Definitely. I want week 3.
I want my offense operating on all cylinders.
Yes.
We need to do. What we haven't talked about is the center, because, and somebody mentioned earlier, I posted it up that Kelsey was good at helping with calling out the blitz, and not having it anymore probably is a little bit of a crutch for Jalen, that more of the responsibility is going to fall on him, because he doesn't have a center that's going to be his backup eyes and ears when it comes to calling out the blitz.
Hey, listen, you got to grow up in these positions sometimes. Yeah. And besides Cam going out, because he did go out this game, he got injured, and we had to put Lander Dickerson in that center, and
all his penalties was, I wanted to just get out of here.
But I think this, like I said, some games you have as tune-ups to get you back. This could be that game. Don't underestimate the Browns. I would never underestimate.
I don't underestimate any NFL team.
Because they still got stars on that side that made names for themselves in this league. They got Amari Cooper, Deshaun Watson. I don't know if Nick Chubb is going to play, but if he does play, he's a formidable foe at running back. Devontae Freeman is a very good backup running back. When he's going downhill, it's hard for you to stop him. They got Jerry Jeudy at wide receiver. He's a technician when it comes to running these routes.
He's good. I have him on fantasy.
I think they got Porsche too. Robert Porsche, that's his name. He's a very quick wide receiver. James Porsche the second. He's a very quick wide receiver in the slot there. So they have some guys that can make plays. We just can't let them make these plays.
Tony Burns says, if Watson balls, Phillies riots. And that's the truth, man. I saw that social media post where they said Watson going to be looking like, they show all his highlights from Houston. They said Watson going to look like this on Sunday. And we have a tendency to help quarterbacks out of whatever slump they may be in. So please,
not to speak
with Watson, please. We don't. If Watson looks like he did in Houston, I'm going to be so upset. I'm going to be so upset. But if you play those sticks defense, that's a formula for anybody to come back and get their game back on. If they only need to see, now I'm going to use terms that I understand myself. But if you see the ball go in the hoop, that's all you need to see. You just need to see the ball go in the hoop sometime. And if you got a quarterback that just needs to make completions, the Eagles defense, at least the one we saw against the Bucs, is your remedy because they give up. They're playing back at the sticks. All you have to do is just dink and dunk, and before you know it, you may have your confidence back.
Period.
Getting completions
in one series. In one series.
We don't need that. We don't need that. We need our offense, our defense to see the ball go through the hoop, like getting the sack. We need AJ and the Smitty to get off and see Jalen hit them in stride. We need Saquon, seeing nothing but green pastures, like AI used to say. I threw the ball in the air. It was like throwing a rock in the ocean. It was that easy. We need our guys to be on that side. Let's be on that side of the car, all right?
You know what? Now, I remember I used to think we used to get these false hope in training camp because we used to hear from training camp when we didn't have great corners that they were doing good in training camp, right? And then you realize that secondary was going up against the likes of Jordan Matthews and Jalen Reagor. And you had to really say, all right, well, they could look like all pros against those receivers. Right. Now I'm starting to think, were we misled when we were seeing Jalen complete all of his passes in training camp? Now that we see this defense and the way it has performed, was Jalen really lighting it up, or it was the fact that he was going against this average defense here?
Good point.
You know what? That's a great point. And to counterpoint that,
they do play off. You can't count.
They play off. When they did go to a bumper run coverage, there were reports where the defense were winning some practices, batting the ball down, not intercepting to the last practice, but they were batting the ball down. Nothing was getting by Q, nothing was getting by Slay, and they looked like a formidable defense when they played up. I'm thinking that defense that was coming at Jalen during training camp was that playing at 7 yards off crap. Listen, man, the weakest arm quarterback in the league can look like Joe Montana. So.
Oh yeah, Jalen should be used to Schwartz's defense. Richard is saying that Schwartz is going to blitz Hurts. That's
every single coordinator.
Every coordinator is going to blitz Jalen until he proves it that he can do it consistently and constantly. So he did very well the first couple of weeks. He looked like he made huge strides over that, and then but he's going to see it. I mean, Todd Bowles brought this blitz, and he just had Todd Bowles a great defensive
I
line.
have a feeling we're going to see them. I don't know why I have this feeling, but I have this feeling that we're going to see them again in the playoffs in the same scenario. Maybe not down in Tampa, maybe here in Philly, but I have a sneaky feeling that that's going to be a hurdle that we're going to need Jalen to step up on and step over. You know?
Yeah, and I'm tired of my Temple folks trash talking.
Yeah.
Listen, and I listen. If they wasn't playing us, go Tide. But they're playing us, so I can't.
Right.
You know, that was my squad before I got to college. So
right. I hear you. Well, we're gonna wrap it up.
Second,
we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna be here. You know, we had an opportunity to go out to a tailgate too, but it's too late now. But our old tailgate partners, the Project Tailgate group, is having a sort of a reunion tailgate this Sunday before the Eagles game. And they've actually said that they've found a spot where they allowed them to stay during the whole game. Yeah. So that's just like old times. I mean, we cut our teeth out there with that tailgate group, and we wish them nothing but the best this weekend. Wish we could make it and make it like old times. The last time we tailgated with them, we won the Super Bowl that year. So we had a great time with them. They're going to have the same setup, televisions, DJs, grills, food, bring your own.
I need to be in the game. I can't stay in the parking lot. I just
I'm telling you,
live.
Right? Yeah, you had to. Yeah, you had to experience.
You were part of the game. You were part of the game because not only did you see it on TV, you're right next to the stadium, so you.
I know, I get it, but to me, it's just it's not much.
I'm telling you, Nichelle, I can't describe it with words. You just have to experience yourself.
Especially that 61-yard field goal.
Tailgate. Yeah. Oh, my God. It was crazy. But we're going to see you guys on Sunday. We're going to see you guys right here, especially if you're not going out to the tailgate. So make sure you join us. Is that a 1 o'clock game on Sunday? I think it is. 1 o'clock game.
So, yeah.
So we're going to be here. Yeah. We're going to be here at 12 o'clock Sunday sharp. Make sure that you join us then. So I'm your man, Dark Knight, for my co-host with the co-most, Nichelle and Pat. We're out of here. We're going to see you guys on Sunday. Peace.